What is your day start like?
Day starts at 5 in the morning every day.
Really?
Yes, and it's
By
like,
choice.
yeah,
Okay, so you have a routine.
I do have a routine. Like we're a very routine friendly house here. No, me. Arepa gana? Hold on, it'll take. She's excited. Arepa gana? Arepa.
Is she playing with you right now?
Yes. Arepa gana.
I love that she's running around with her stuffy.
Parki. Mana.
Oh my gosh.
Good girls.
I can't even get my kids to do that. What the hell? Your day starts at 5 and you take the dogs out for walks. Like I kind of watch and follow your daily routine. I love it. Okay.
Only on the weekends Juan and I do it together. Because Juan walks the dogs literally 5 a.m. That's why I'm like, sometimes like I wake up a little earlier because like Yoshik will jump on me in the morning. But yes, like 5 a.m. And then I go to my workout. Yeah, it's like a slow wake up, you know?
What is the official title and name for what you do now? Because I know it started off with influencer. Now we've kind of shifted into content creator. Is there like a title that you identify by? Like when someone asks you, Manana, what do you do?
I take photos for a living. No. I'm joking. Every day we go to the dog park and they were so confused on like what my job was. They're like, so like, what do you do? I'm like, how do you explain to somebody? It's like they like pay you so you like advertise for them, right? But I don't know. Is like content creator the right word? Maybe.
Yeah, like I guess today it's content creator.
Like I actually hate the word influencer.
I do too. And every time I have to write an email saying who I am, I'll put influencer in quotes. I'll just make fun of myself.
Oh, you're so funny.
You know,
Wait,
because
like
I'm not necessarily a content creator. Like I am just on social media and someone who shares their life and business.
Yeah, no, I mean, you actually do everything.
You know, a little bit of everything, but like for you, like this is your career. At what point did you realize that this can be a career for you? Like when was that shift?
The shift was like extremely apparent because I've been doing this for such a long time. Like it's really crazy because I think it's like the buildup that takes you to like where you are now. I always say like, maybe, I don't know like your opinion on this, but being an overnight success is like not really a good thing, I think. Because I think it's like harder to maintain that and like know how to control it. Because social media is really interesting. Like it comes with love, but it also comes with a lot of hate. So like if something like blows up to you overnight, you might get a lot of love and then like the next video you get hate and like you just don't know what to do with yourself. So it's good to have like that gradual.
Right, you have to kind of
like the levels.
Prep yourself. But yeah, that is so true and unfortunate about social media.
I know.
But you learn the hard way and you learn to grow thick skin.
To also answer the question of like, when did it feel like a career? It felt like a career. There was like the shift of like where I was posting I've been posting my entire life since I feel like honestly high school. It's crazy that this is a career because I just feel like right generation, you know what I mean? But truly, because I don't know, I mean, I know what else I would do because I went to like school for it, but it just is like the most natural transition for me. I've been posting every day. And then one day a video blew up and then we're like, you know what? Like we're taking this and we're posting. I'm trying to remember which first video was it that blew up. It was one with Juan. One of them was him rating my outfits.
Yes, I saw that one. Yes, I saw that one.
It was in a fitting room. And we're like, okay, this did really well. Like, let's go to another store. So then we went to another store and then that blew up. And we're like, okay, like let's go home. Let's do one at the house. And then that blew up. And then things just started to like roll from there. But it took that many years to like get there, right? So when somebody clicks on like quote unquote like a viral video, they're like, okay, what else does she have to offer? And there's like years of content to just like refer back to. And the moment that it felt real is when I signed with my agency. And I was her first talent and I was always against agencies. Like I don't know if
Who was managing it before that? You?
Yeah. It was me. And I was against them because I just heard horror stories. Like, you know, you're signed to this crazy contract. Like if anything happens, you're not allowed to leave for like an X amount of time. And it just sometimes gets like nasty. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to manage myself. Like, why would I put myself through that? And I did until she reached out and I took the meeting with her out of like courtesy because I knew her. Like, I don't want to be rude and say no. And then I was like, okay, let's do it. And then
you hit it off.
Not only did we like hit it off, like I'm so grateful for the people in my life that's helped me truly like get to where I am. And I can name like so many people, but I'm like, I want a Grammy. My family. No, but truly, my manager, she's like changed my life, you know? So she's saw potential, and it was like right at the start, like nobody was really reaching out, and she did. So I'm forever grateful for her.
What do you think was going on with your page at the time she reached out to you?
It was when videos were starting to like pick up. Yeah. I was definitely like, I think I had like 30,000 followers or something like that. Not that followers matter, but it was like that soon. It was that early on. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what did you go to school for?
Hospitality. Well, I first went for dentistry. Manana wanted to be a plastic surgeon, so I'm like, perfect. Like, we'll make our parents so happy. And then she actually ended up switching to dentistry. So then I tried everything. Juan and I talk about it all the time. I'm like, how did I not pass like biology? Because I would study and I would get tutors and I would do everything. It just like wasn't. It just wouldn't. It wasn't processing in my brain. I switched to hospitality, and then that's what I graduated with. And I didn't want to finish college actually. I'm like, I don't need to finish it. Like, I'm already in my thing. If I didn't, my parents would be like, "What's going? What do we move to this country for?" I'm joking, but I had to.
Do your
finish.
parents, in the beginning, were they like, "What do you mean you want to do this for a living? You're gonna just post daily videos of yourself for a living?" Because as Armenian parents, I'm sure, like, and also not just Armenian, but like it's like a newer thing that a lot of people don't understand.
I think there's like this raise of concern, but I'm grateful for them because they like just let me do whatever.
Amazing.
Because I've always worked. I've been working since I was 13. So it's not like I wasn't doing anything. And not only was I was working in like a hospitality field. So I was like working my way up to like, I wanted to be into marketing. So I was like from front desk to like, then I went to VIP front desk. And so I was like doing things. It wasn't like, well, Manan's not doing anything. Like, what is she just posting her life? But then I started taking on my own clients. I was doing their social media, I was doing their content, and then I
went. You were doing that too for a while.
So I was doing
media
it all.
Consultant kind of.
Yeah, yeah, but like it wasn't really a thing then. So like small businesses would reach out, local businesses, to like create content. So I'd go like, I don't know, it's like 5 reels a week, and then this is the rate, or like 20 reels a month. This is the rate, right? So I like kind of started my own business without thinking it's a business. And then that definitely helped, but it also like pushed me back a little because I wasn't focusing on my things. Then when I let go of all of that and I saved up enough to where I'm like, you know what, I just need to do my own thing. That's when it just
doors opened.
Yeah. And it's really crazy when that happens because I think you have to find it at the perfect time for that to happen. Like, you have to be so done with what you're doing. For me, my experience, I was so done with working for other people, working for them. Yeah, working for them.
Say that.
Like, I'm like, I need to do this. I need to do this on my own. Like, I can't waste time anymore, you know? And that's just how I did it. I don't know. That's a long answer, huh?
No, that's beautiful. Okay. And my cousin had told me that you and your sister or sisters did this, like, even before social media was a thing, you guys were always like recording yourselves and just selfie videos and all these things. So all this came really natural to you because you were just kind of like playing with the concept before you even knew you were doing that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, literally. I remember I think it was like 8th grade when that was when Instagram happened. I was posting like 5, 6 times a day. And I asked my friends.
Posting like, 5, 6 times a day?
Yeah.
On Instagram.
On Instagram. But like, it was, you're so funny.
If I post 5 in a week, I am tapping myself on the shoulder.
That's so funny. No, but it was like silly photos, right? But they were all, I don't know. And then I asked my friends, I said, guys, am I posting too much? And they go, I think so. And I just continued doing it. Like, I never cared. I never cared.
That's really important.
Yeah. When you find something that's so fun, you kind of just continue doing it, right? And that's one of those things.
And, speaking on that, a lot of people
I'm
I
like,
think
what
she
does
likes
do?
me. She probably smells my dog on me. A lot of people who want to be content creators, what do you say to those who like are afraid to put themselves out there? Like, you know, they
Mm-hmm.
judge every photo of themselves or video of themselves so many times before they post. Example over here, that they just that they never end up posting it because I'm
Yeah.
just like, okay, so my cousin Tati, like she is the girl that these brands look for, right? She's that
Yeah.
aesthetic girl, like who lives that life that I go to a coffee shop to like create content. She lives that life. And I'm
1,000,000%.
like, you're doing this. So, but she won't post it. And it's the consistency is really important. And they're just so hard on themselves that they don't actually share and post, and it holds them back. So what do you say? Like, what is your advice? And like, what tips could you give that they can kind of like look past that?
Okay. I have tips and then I have advice.
Okay.
Okay. Tips. When I started, I had a content calendar. And
Mm.
it's not like your typical like open your planner and like write, today I'm doing this. I was very strict with myself. I would write it on a Google Doc and I would write Monday, January 1st. Film, there would be 3 bolds: film, edit, post. Like, what am I filming that day? What am I editing? And what am I posting? And I was very strict with that. Like, I was mixing lifestyle to beauty to family to friendship, like friends, everything.
Mhm.
And that's what like got me on the vibe of like naturally doing things sometimes, because you get into like a creative rut and then you're like, wait, what am I going to post, right?
Right. And
And
also when you don't have a boss that's like, hey, this is due on
yeah,
Thursday, you kind of like, all right, I'll do it tomorrow, and you postpone. But
exactly.
having a Google Calendar and
Yeah.
holding yourself
Yep.
accountable for what you're going to be
Yes. And
doing.
so I printed each page, and when I was done with it, I highlighted it. I have like the satisfaction of like highlighting things. So when I was done, I highlighted it, and then it was the next day. You know, you just, is the noise gonna? There's a lot of noise outside, guys.
Yeah.
There's construction going on. We're adding some exterior changes.
They knew we were coming, so they're like,
Yeah.
we got to make this a little bit more
Yeah,
challenging.
of course, because they actually did it. They didn't make any noise for 2 days. I swear, you guys.
That's okay. We can go in your living room and hang out in
Okay.
your beautiful space.
Oh, thank you. Let's do it.
So going back to your advice on, you know, how not to give a shit about what people think and just post, because I hear this all the time, guys, just post.
Yeah.
Are you like that? Like just post, or like what is your advice on
Well,
that?
I understand why people don't, right? And I think it's sometimes like easier said than done of like just post. There's so many like different challenges that comes with it. You're missing out on an opportunity of at least like giving yourself a chance and like a shot, right? And one thing about me, I hate living my lives with what ifs. Like I have 0 regrets. Like, and I really mean that. I think a lot of people live that way, but maybe they don't mean it. But like truly, I have 0 regrets, and that's because I try everything, and that's thanks to my parents. They've always like encouraged that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my advice. Honestly, it's not just post, because there's more that goes into it, but it's be strategic. Like truly like start a content calendar. What do you enjoy watching? Create that. What makes you feel good when you record yourself? Do that. When I first started, I remember I was in my parents' bathroom, and Instagram stories is like my bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
Like
You're so good at it.
That's how I started.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I think that like built such like a good community too, but like a very niche community, because not everyone watches stories, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember I said, hey guys, so I'm gonna start posting Instagram stories, and I'm just letting you know, like I'm gonna be posting a lot, so if you're not interested, like really encourage you to unfollow. I don't know what took me to like say that. From that story on, this was like probably graduating high school or beginning of freshman year of college. Like I posted that, and then since then, like I've just shared everything.
Sharing every day.
Yeah, every single day.
What opportunity arose, I guess either before your manager or after your manager, that you were like, oh shit, this is big. This is it.
Mhm.
I have a feeling what it is, but I want you to share what it is.
Before management, this is when I was still living with my parents. This is 2020. I think it was the middle of 2022. I got an email to do a photo shoot with Skims.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm wearing the Skims Body Plunge Bodysuit. I feel great. I feel like I could wear this all day. It doesn't feel constrictive, which is the best part about this whole thing. You can pair with absolutely anything.
That's the one where I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's big.
I thought it was a fraud because I was like, it's one of those like, oh no, this isn't true, right? Like, what was going on? And then I went and it was a full on shoot, but I was extremely unprepared. I didn't know it was a video. Paparki. She's like, hold on. In my
She's like,
moment,
this is gonna be about me.
and it was Parki. Come on. Yeah, so I just didn't think it was happening. And I don't know if Kim was gonna be there.
Was she?
No.
Oh.
Wait, where is she? Then I found out they do like so many shoots in a week. You know, I don't know about so many, but I think like 2 or 3 shoots. And I'm like, okay, so she's not gonna be at every shoot.
Yeah.
But then there was like a big one right after that, and I was like, dang. And she was a part of it.
Oh.
So then,
But that was an iconic moment, I think.
Yeah.
Like a pivotal moment, I would think, right? Because
extremely.
a lot of brands sometimes, like when they look at you and they're like, okay, should we work with her? Should we not? Let's see what she's done. They see a Skims ad you've done. They're like, oh, we want to work with her. If she's working with a bigger brand like that, then she knows what she's doing.
That's good to hear from like a business owner, you
Yeah.
know, because truly it
Not
feels
that
like
that's the end all be all of when you work with someone, but you're just like, she knows what she's doing. She's working with legitimate brands. It's not going to be a challenge to work with her.
yeah, it adds like security to your portfolio.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Yeah.
it's exactly what you said. So that was really cool. That was extremely pivotal because at that point I didn't really have any, I didn't have like a big following. So it was really, really cool for that to happen. And I'm grateful for them because they weren't looking for like a big following count, which is honorable for like a brand like that, right? At the time. And then after management, honestly, I think it's the Abercrombie shoe.
Yeah. That one was huge.
That one was really crazy because I've worn Abercrombie since I was 2 years old. Like you walk in, it was at the time when like the girls were like in bikinis, guys were like shirtless, like spraying like perfume everywhere. So yeah, it was extremely nostalgic. And not only was it really cool, it's fun to have like the brand and the people behind it actually be really friendly and kind and like lovely to work with, you know? There's nothing worse than working with a brand and you're like, wait, the team behind this like is not so kind.
What is the most challenging part for you when it comes to being a content creator? It's a trick one, isn't it? Because it's all challenging, I know, to post things, make sure the client likes it, make sure your viewers like it, making sure it stays true to you.
Okay. Can I answer like a few different ones?
Of course.
Okay. First one being different, like trying your hardest to be different, right? Like individualizing yourself in this like quote unquote curated space that like saturated space that like everyone, again, quote unquote, everyone is doing, but always talking creative with Juan, for example, and like thinking about new projects that we can do and how to be new photo shoots that him and I can do, new cameras that we can get so we can like create these really cool things, right? But all these things interest us. Like I don't want that to be confused with like it being fake, right? But it's just like constantly like thinking of how we can be better and improve. It's kind of like a job. Like how do you
balance it? How do you balance from curating it and making it organic? Like how do you find that line in between where you're like, okay, this feels comfortable, but it's also beautiful? Because I think there's a lot of, content creators are challenges that way where like, okay, well, let's be super organic, but the super organic is not always aesthetically pleasing and gets you following, which following means more opportunities.
Right.
Versus something super curated where it doesn't seem organic. Like how do you find that fine line? Yeah.
I think the fine line is, for me specifically, I live by the quote, if it's not fun anymore, I'm not going to do it. So like,
I love that.
If that project doesn't excite me, if that photo shoot with Juan doesn't excite me, then either we pivot or we just don't do it. Like there's been moments where like he's brought like a creative up and I'm like, okay. And then he'd be like that's not like, you're not like very sure about it. So it's nice to him where he's like, okay, I know that's like not like a genuine. Okay. So then I'm like, you know what? Yeah, like that doesn't feel right. So then we'll go back to the chopping block of like, okay, what can we do? So whatever just sounds fun and right in that moment is what we're going to do. You know, like we also, Juan follows such like so many different creators than I do. Like we do not follow the same people at all. So he gets inspired in different ways and then I get inspired in different ways. And we like really just come together and create a lot of really cool projects, I think. Like for example, we did a photo shoot. We did a house photo shoot. Every location of this house, we did it's like an 8-9 hour shoot. He was a photographer. We were both like the creatives. We did the setups. At the time I had my assistant like help me and she would set it up. We would shoot. Then she'd set up the next thing and then we would shoot. But like, it was only just the three of us at the time. And then that same night we went like an hour out into like the Vegas desert and we did a photo shoot with a horse. Like he was a stylist. He was the videographer. My hands
So he really is like your behind the scenes
beyond
business partner.
I mean it when I say.
Because it seems like he's just judging your outfits.
No.
And it seems like he's like hanging out with you, making food, like giving his advice. But he really is like
full on. Yeah.
Like a partner.
He deserves
so much credit.
He needs to be right here. Yeah. No, he's my full on, you know, when they say like right hand.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for that. But yeah, I think I also trust him so much in all spaces, creatively, business wise, on like he's such a level-headed person and like he really like grounds me, right? Like we talked about that like off camera, like having somebody that balances you is so important.
Yes. And
I'm just grateful to have found that like in a best friend and a partner and a business partner and a creative partner, because that's different than business. Right. So yeah, we work really well together.
That's beautiful.
But that's the most challenging part. One of them is like constantly being creative, because in a space where things constantly look so much like the same, right? Like you get kind of bored. So we just like try to like think a little bit individual, like we try to individualize ourselves. But not to say that I don't do like a transition video or like hop on a trend of something, but yeah, we try.
I think with you is you really let your personality show through. Thank you. Say if it's not fun, you won't do it anymore, but you are fun and you could see that you are fun on social media and you don't hold back and you're not afraid to be silly, and it's like so admirable in a world where everyone is very aesthetic and beautiful and everyone's afraid of a certain angle being shown, and you're just so like you kind of don't care and you let your personality show through. And I think that's what brands want, where it's like, okay, she seems so real, like this is someone we want to work with. So what is your advice for someone who is trying to get to where you are, right? Because everyone, if you're on social media and you're creating content, you are the epitome of made it, if I am allowed to say that.
I know
that there's no ceiling for this because the opportunities are endless. So what is really made it in this field is just like it's endless.
And it's crazy because like it really never feels like enough. I swear, like you accomplish one thing, it's like, okay, so like what's next?
Right, because they're project by project, right? Yeah. It's more.
It's not like a promotion.
It's not vertical, right? It's kind of horizontal where you're just kind of different projects. I mean, it is vertical too because some projects are like insane
2 years
brands
and 3 years.
Speaking of 2-3 years, like what is your goal for the next few years with content creation?
Oh, every 2 weeks, Juan and I do this thing. It's called personal development. And it's like, he talks we switch off every 2 weeks. My long-term goals, it's always, okay, so am I going to start a brand? No, there's nothing that I'm passionate about, like that I feel like will make a difference in this society. Okay, should we partner with a brand? There's like nothing that, so I don't know yet. There's ideas in our heads that we talk about, but we've really been into interior designing lately. Like I feel like we really like
I thought about that the second I walked in here.
Thank you. Yeah. This house was so different from when we bought it. So we're like, maybe we'll get into like flipping homes. I don't know. I really don't. There's a lot of ideas in the air. It's the year of the horse.
Yes.
So We'll
Yes.
see. We shed it.
Going
We
full
shed it
force,
last year.
That's right.
So we'll see. But in 2-3 years, honestly, unless I'm not having fun, I'm not going to do it. So right now I'm having fun with all this, and I don't see me stopping.
Do you
this.
feel like social media, because you hear it all the time, like, oh, social media is dying. Do you think that's factual?
Where's it going to go?
I know.
No, I know. No. Like, are robots going to take over humans? No.
Is people's interests a lot less now than it was before, or is it more now, like based on your experience and what you see, your feedback and the views? Like for someone who's creating and saying like, oh, is it too late now? It's oversaturated, it's dying out, but it's not dying out, right? Because you have your relationships with your followers, and you have, even though you don't see them, there's a community.
Yeah, no, there is. And I always like to relate it to like other professions, and this is taking it like up a notch, but like there's a million lawyers, there's a million doctors, there's a million accountants, there's a million real estate agents, but you always need them. You always have your own community with it. And I think that's when an influencer changes to a content creator or not. Like, I think influencer and content creator are actually different things. I know we talked about them, but I actually think they are different things. So it's like influencer is this is in my brain. This is not a fact. It's like a typical influencer, right? A content creator is like you're putting your creative to the test. Like how creative can you get? Like how, right?
Yeah.
Like so I think it's up to the person. And consuming content, like, yeah, it can get so oversaturated. Sometimes I'm like, I just want to chuck my phone, but chuck it. Like, but then you always go back to it because it's honestly a form of entertainment. Like before, like when I was growing up, we'd watch with my whole family. What is it? America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yes.
But now it's like, now you see TikTok and the funniest videos ever. It's just changed.
What is your goal with your personal page for your viewers?
My goal.
Some
Like, a
pages
lot of
are
people say, like,
educational, some pages are entertainment, some pages are,
okay. I wouldn't say it's like inspiring because I'm like, what am I inspiring? But I think it's just true. The way that I've always posted is truly just like enjoy your life, and not in an unrealistic way. Like 10 years ago when I was sharing like my job stuff. So it's like whatever stage you're at, just enjoy it. I don't know.
Don't take yourself too seriously.
Truly, don't take yourself too seriously, because and when you say like, you're not afraid of being silly, I'm like, well, why are people afraid of being silly? Like, is that a thing?
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
And because I hope this doesn't come off the wrong way, but because it comes so natural, I'm like, why? Like, why can't more people just be like, this is who I am? Like, why?
I think it goes back to being seen or judged a certain way, where it's like, if you want to be seen a certain way, then you got to curate that. And if it's out of what you've curated, then it seems phony if you don't always keep up with that. But it's two different things.
Yes.
Your story, like for me, like my feed is very like, it's curated, right? Like my fashion outfits, like all of that. Like I'm about to make some food. Thank you. I have a great videographer, but it's like that part's curated. But my stories, not at all. I don't have makeup on more than half the time, like my mornings are crazy and all of that stuff. So it kind of like people feel like they don't want to do that part because they need to keep up with that, and it limits them. Yeah. Because then you don't really get to know them behind the camera.
Yeah. That makes sense. That does make sense.
So I've been watching on social media, and a lot of content creators are talking about, how they got to a certain level of success based on a formula. And, I've watched several people talk about this formula. What is this formula? Is there an actual formula?
That's so
funny.
What
formula do you use?
Y = mx + b squared. No, I'm joking.
Only if it was that easy.
Is it that it? Y = mx.
I don't even know, girl. Me and Beth.
The formula. Okay. And I really appreciate the people that say, be consistent, post at a specific time. I understand that. I think, yes, all of that does matter, but I think it's a lot more deeper than that. I think it's very personal to who you are, right? I kind of mentioned earlier, like a viral moment doesn't mean you are immediately successful. It means, what are you going to do with that moment? Are you going to take it? Are you going to continue posting content that is attention grabbing? You know, it's like, and I hate to say this, but are you talking slower? Are you talking slow in your videos? Like if you're talking slow, you're not getting to the point across really quickly, or you're not entertaining.
That's a good point.
You're not
something I
entertaining.
would ever even think about.
You're not entertaining right away. Like, what is the purpose of somebody following you? And take that with a grain of salt, because what I mean by that is, are you interested in what you're watching of yourself right now? Yes, post it. No, let's redo it. What's wrong with redoing it? Like, again, like I said, when I first started posting on my Instagram stories, I don't think I said this. It took me like 2 hours to make that video of, hey, if I'm going to start posting Instagram stories, if you're not interested, like, you don't have to follow me. But it took me like 2 hours to like do that. But it takes time, right? And you go through like different eras of your content creator life, where you're like, you have this style and then you have that style, but those are just all the segues into like leveling up to where you can be later on. You know, I think a lot of people stress and see successful creators and think, okay, 6 months, I'm giving myself 6 months, but it could take you 2 years, and that's also perfect. You know,
Takes time.
yeah.
And it's really just, I know that you were saying you tried different types of content and you realize, okay, this one hit.
Yeah.
So you take that formula and you recreate it.
Exactly. In addition to other stuff.
So this formula technically is different for everyone.
Yeah.
Because what went viral for your page may not go viral on my page, because it's not me.
Yeah.
It's not my personality.
Exactly.
It's not what I do.
Truly. That is
so
such
it's
a good
finding what works. So technically we have to try different things, dabble into different things until we find what works for us, and then just kind of work on that.
And if you're not patient enough to wait, you shouldn't start. If you're not patient enough, you said, okay.
You have to want it that bad.
Yeah, no, truly, because you have to record every day. Like, can you do that?
Yeah.
And then if no, then are you that creator that posts every day? No. Okay, so what kind of creator are you? Are you like a cooking creator where you can create 3 meals and then 5 meals a day and then post one every day? You know, it just really depends on what you want to do. But that's a really good point about that one video went viral, so we started creating other videos, similar videos. But in addition, I was posting different videos to see maybe those would catch.
Yeah.
And fortunately they did.
Yeah.
And then it's like, wait, she has so many different like avenues of content. And I'm like, I got it all, y'all. You know,
Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that are afraid to speak to the camera or speak to themselves, per se. Do you think that's important?
Maybe to a degree.
For people to get to know you?
For longevity, to do this for a long time, yes. Because there's creators that I followed originally that were just so aesthetic, and it was like everything was curated so beautifully. But then when I would like go through my purging of like, okay, I'm unfollowing everyone, like they would get unfollowed because I don't know them. And I'm not interested anymore. Right?
There's no connection.
Yeah. And I think, and it's not like you have to share everything of your life. I think a lot of people get confused by that. There's like 50% of my life is not shared. And I think that's really shocking because I share so much. I think
that's really important for you to share, because a lot of times people think that Manana's life seems so perfect. I want to be Manana.
Little do they know I cried today.
Oh.
No, I'm joking.
See? But you know, and it's not, some people share those vulnerable moments too, but a lot of times we do share our highlight reel. And it's not because we're like living this double life, but like some of it is ours.
Yeah.
Not everything has to be shareable. So share what you're comfortable with.
It is. And a lot of the reason why I don't share a lot is because from experience of like, I just don't care to hear someone's opinion on why I'm like upset about a specific thing. Right. Or they're like, take it as like a complaint. And it's like, okay, what do you guys want from me?
Yeah.
You know, so that's where the 50% of 50% of my life that people don't know.
Did you learn that along the way?
I did.
Yeah.
Like before it was like maybe like 10%. Nobody ever knew if I was ever having a fight with anybody in my like family or friends or like relationship ever. That was always my rule. No one knows any negatives in my life because first of all, it's nobody's business.
Mm-hmm.
Or my other rule was I would never share me crying.
Yeah.
No,
That was a moment for
no one's gonna see me
influencers for a
cry.
moment. Do you remember?
Nope.
A few years ago?
No, thank God.
It
I
was a
did not
moment.
know. To cry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, in my industry, they were all
Okay.
crying. I'm sorry, but they were.
No.
And not to say that it wasn't real,
Yeah.
but within 1 month, all the influencers that I knew were now being vulnerable because I don't want to say it, but it is what it is. It did gain attention because some part of our human weird behavior that we have likes to see vulnerability, unfortunately. And so it's like showing a different side to them, and it was a thing that was going
Okay.
on. It's
I didn't know that.
stopped,
Thank
and
God.
I appreciate them from being vulnerable. But for me, I'm just like, I don't want to bring negativity here. I want to be a positive page you come to and
Yeah.
an uplifting page you
Yeah.
come to. And I think that's so important because there's people that I followed that I was like, oh man, like my heart feels for you. But then they went on too long. And I was like, oh, I feel like I'm like depressed watching you now. So finding a balance.
Yeah.
Or
Listen, there truly, and Juan and I talk about this a lot. Like there's a viewer for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, and that's truly the beauty of social media, right? But that was always my rule. No one's gonna see me cry. Like unless it's like happy tears. Like no one's gonna see me cry.
Yeah.
Long story short, yes. If you want like longevity, talking to camera just gets you like further and have like a better community. Okay, better community equals better engagement, better deals, better everything.
Outcomes.
Right? Yeah.
Right. As a content creator, as an influencer, when a brand reaches out to you, what helps you decide whether you want to do that project or not? Like, what are you looking for?
Okay. When it's like, there's two different types of collaborations. One where it's like a brand deal and it's, one time or like a 3-month or a 6-month commitment, type of thing. Or there's like the brand X, the creator. Like my most recent one was with 437 and that one was incredible. Huge. It was huge. Yeah. Cause they're a brand that I've worn for so long prior to the collaboration. And thank God that the brands have always been the ones to like reach out, but because they've seen like the years of commitment of like loyalty that I've given them. Like, a lot of the times I actually get asked, is it bad? Like, should I be tagging brands? And the answer is always yes. Like,
I was going to ask you that next.
Why would you not? Like, you should always tag brands. There's no reason to quote unquote like gatekeep them because that's just your benefit. They're going to see that. Like, don't you want them to see that so they can work with you so you're under their radar? And then in hopes that you have like a collection with them one day, right? So I've tagged 437 for a really long time prior to our first collection. We're working on our second collection now.
Oh, yay.
Which is exciting.
Congrats.
Thank you.
And it sold out, within 24 hours or something? The first one? What was it?
I don't pat myself on the back, but our pre-sale sold out.
Oh, that's amazing.
Which is lovely. I was shocked because every time you do something, you're like, is this going to work?
Do great,
like,
yeah. Because you're working with this brand and this brand has expectations, I'm sure, and you want to make sure that you satisfy those expectations.
Like it's more stressful for me at least, like I take on these projects so heavy, like Juan too, because we put so much creative behind it. But like, it's like, we just want to, whatever it is, I just want the brand to be happy. Like, I don't care. Like I just want them to be happy with it. So when that happened, I was like, it felt good.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well deserved.
Thank you. That's what I look for is loyalty to the brand for a minute when it's like a big collection like that. But when it comes to like brand deals, there's a few questions you ask yourself. One, have you used this item? Have you used this product? 2, would you use this product? 3, if you have not, you should try the product and see if you like it. And then the fourth one is a lot of the times honestly, this, there's so many products that we get sent and so many things that we try that even I don't even get the chance to share, but I try them and I don't share them. So sometimes it's hard to like show everything. It's hard to show everything, you know, because
It's a lot.
there's so much.
It's a lot.
So sometimes, you know, your audience hasn't seen a specific brand and it's like new to them, but it's not new to you. So you just have to like, I guess, trust your instincts of, should I promote this? You know, like, is this something good to promote? And then just take it from there and then see. A lot of the times, like if they don't allow me to have, I'm okay with, I like a collaboration on creative from the brand and from me. But when they're like, no, it has to be this creative, that's when we're like, yeah, this doesn't like feel right. We'll circle back. And then, you know,
it has to be true to you.
It does. Because sometimes there's been times, not a lot, where it's like a brand is very specific on what they want and you could love the brand, but it's not, it just doesn't align with what you want to post, right? And then there's times where they're like, post whatever. And you're like, thank God.
Yeah. And they give you that creative ability.
They do, yeah. But there's so much that goes behind it, right? It's like you do this video and then they come back with like a million edits, which is fine. But then you're like,
it's like double the work.
Yeah, and that's totally fine. But then you're like, okay, got to refilm. So then you have to like go back to like sometimes like creative just didn't execute, you know?
I get it.
Sometimes there's like,
I think a lot of times people don't see behind the camera the work that's involved.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people see a content creator like you and they're like, oh my God, so easy. I wish I could do a collaboration. Oh, I wish I could just like create outfits for a living or post outfits for a living. But there's so much involved in that. And especially when it's creatives and one-off projects, like you said, like there's so many moving parts to it that, you know, you want to make sure you're satisfying your viewers,
right?
Staying true to who you are, curating something aesthetically, pleasing the brand,
right?
And then being happy with the outcome yourself.
Yes,
there's so many things. And you don't have someone that tells you,
and
go in
sometimes
this direction.
It really is. Sometimes like you think it's a really easy thing to think of, right? And listen, we're not learning how to like create a rocket ship. Like I understand that, but there is some difficulty that goes into it. I had a same friend, like call me 2-3 times and being like, okay, here's the campaign that I got. What, like, can you help me come up with a creative? And I'm like, yeah, here's what I think. And they're like, wow, that was so easy for you to think of. I'm like, thank you. That was a really big compliment. But that's just to show that it gets really hard when you have to do it for a job. When you do it for like freewheeling, like I'm going to just do an alpha video, that comes naturally, right? But when you have to like commit to a project like that, brands are paying and you want to make sure they get their dollars worth. You know, me personally, I care because I also have a family business. And to me, like businesses, when they put money into something, like sometimes it hurts my heart. I'm like, oh, they're spending money, like, you know, but I understand the value of a dollar. So I just always want to perform right.
Right. No, you're doing everything beautifully. And the reason I wanted to interview you, there's a lot of content creators out there, regardless of their following. Some have a lesser following and are doing amazing projects, and some have huge followings who don't really. So following doesn't mean money, by the way.
No, it doesn't actually.
At all. So it really doesn't matter how much of a following you have. But the reason I wanted to do it with you is because I saw your growth in a matter of a few years. I know you said you've been doing this for a long time, but I saw that growth because you mentioned that like you started at like 30,000 followers or something, and that was only a few years ago. Yes?
Yes. You started at 0, right?
Yeah. But when the growth happened, it happened quickly, right?
Yeah, it was like 30,000.
Right. And then next thing we know, you did a Skims collab. And I didn't know you at that time. I was just like, oh my God, who is this doing a Skims like Armenian girl? That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then the Abercrombie and the 437, like so many things. So I think it's important for people to know that like the following is not the end all be all. It's about the quality of your content and what you're putting out there.
For sure.
So it seems to me your formula is being consistent, staying true to who you are, showing your personality, right? And holding yourself accountable for what you put out there.
Heavy on holding yourself accountable. Like really the content calendar you're your own boss, right? So you just
Yeah.
have to, you got to clock in, you got to clock
That's
out.
my struggle, and I'm being very honest with you. Like, it's hard with
Yeah.
3 kids and a business to curate content on your free time. Like, when I do have free time, like, I just want to read a book just to unwind a little bit, or maybe I just want to lay down, or maybe just hang out with my kids, you know? So it's hard to hold yourself accountable. It sounds easy, but it's not. And we all have different responsibilities. So I wanted to interview you because to me, like, I think that growth that you had in the last few years says a lot about your understanding of where social media is headed and how you were able to work it the way you did. Um, and also, like, I love that your personality shines through the camera, and you're so admirable.
Oh.
You know, behind the camera now, obviously in person too. Getting to know you, it's our first time meeting, but
Yeah.
it was honestly a pleasure. And
Thank
your
you.
knowledge and information is going to help so many people who watch this. I have interviewed like restaurant owners, chefs, brand owners, CEOs, and like different types of people for my podcast. But I really wanted to do a content creator because there's so many of us out there. And
So
I
many.
think that you can
Yeah.
be so relatable to a lot of the people who watch the podcast or who follow me, or even those who follow you. I know you have a lot of admirers. So, you know, I appreciate you giving your time, your advice, your home, lending it to us.
Oh,
And it's
you're
been
welcome
such
anytime.
a pleasure. Is there any like finishing words that you want to share?
I said this off camera, but we should let everybody know that you are an incredibly inspiring person. Like you
Thank
saying
you.
that on your free time, like you're creating content, but I know you do that because it fulfills you at the same time. You
Yeah.
know, that's really the goal is
Yeah.
to fill our lives with things that fulfill us and to follow our purpose. And I think
Yes.
once you have a purpose in life, it's like there's no end. You just keep going.
Yeah.
So
You enjoy
you have
life
a lot of
little
purpose.
bit more.
I can
Thank
tell.
you. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, thank
Appreciate
you.
you.
Thank you.